but I'm gonna let you guys know. So,
other words, your purchasing power every single day. And that's why I say, click buttons on a screen, Brad, buy assets. 1913, 100. Boy, didn't that just take a dumpster dive? Almost lost half. All the way, 43. You know, you went through a little bit of a recession, depression. Yeah, that was a little struggle there.
look at those dates.
37 bucks, 32, 22, 9, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, 0. In this, while that goes down.
So, did you guys see that? So since 1913, right? That was like, wow, that's an eye opener right there. 1913, $100 will equal $100. 2026, $100 equals $3 pretty much. So if I give you $100 today, tomorrow is gonna be worth $3. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to think about. So that's why I was saying, and I apologize, I got like, my throat is scratchy and stuff. The weather is a little off today, or it's been off for the last couple days. So that's why I gotta drink my hot tea and stuff. But yeah, that's why I named the video, you know, you can't buy anything with, you know, US dollars now. But you have to listen. You gotta know, like, knowledge is key, guys. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is key. You know, we are in the last days, we are at the end times, and knowledge is increasing, but you have to listen to the right things. You have to know the right thing. Of course, you gotta have discernment and stuff, because that will let you know, hey, this sounds right, this is right, or this doesn't sound right, this doesn't make sense, and it's, you know, I'm not gonna listen to that, right? So that US dollar is getting powerful in America. You know, it's increasing in America. So at the beginning of the video, I was talking about, you know, you know, when you move overseas and stuff, you're not going to be paying US dollar physically, right? And it's getting to a point where countries are not using US dollar. Like, they don't want it in their country, like physically. I'm not saying if you have, like, we have US dollar in our bank. You get what I'm saying? And when we go to the ATM, when we pay for things, yes, we paying US dollar, but it's going to convert to Mauritian rubies. You get what I'm saying? So you have to understand that. So any country you go to, it's not like you have to change all your money in your bank to that local currency. No, you still can use that US dollar to use in the location you are in, right? It's just no US physical dollar is going to be valid in these countries. So it's disappearing. A lot of countries in Africa is saying no more US dollar physically. So it's, yeah, exactly. Somebody said it's on purpose. Yeah, it's on purpose. That's what I'm saying. It's a bigger picture. It's a bigger picture, but you have to have that foundation. You have to understand where this is headed, right? So yeah, if you know, if you can see the signs, you're gonna move accordingly. You're gonna adjust and keep moving. So I'm saying this because you have to know there's a shortage of US dollars, and all the US dollar is going to be in America. So you have to understand this is going to increase, like the inflation is going to increase in America, right? So that US dollar is getting strong. I think today or yesterday, no, today for you guys, yesterday for me. I'm not sure what happened. You know, we were meeting with people and stuff. I couldn't like really focus and do my research on what happened in the market and stuff, because usually I'd be on it trying to figure things out. But I was trading Euro USD, and you know, the dollar was strong and stuff. I caught some good sales and stuff like that. Good thing I put my stop loss, because all of a sudden the chart reversed. So that means that the US dollar got a little weaker. I'm not saying, I'm talking about trading. So Like when you are a trader, you understand these things that I'm saying. At some point, the U.S. dollar got weak, like something dumped and the other chart pumped, like a big green candle. Um, so I'm like, huh, what happened? Good thing I had a stop loss. But yeah, I'm like, huh, something happened. Some type of news came out. You know, I know what's going on with the war and stuff like that. Um, you know, man, that's a whole nother question or whole nother talking point. But you have to know how to take advantage of this U.S. dollar, really. So this is why we say, you know, and it kind of, I was talking to a brother yesterday, and we was talking about how, you know, uh, the wicked will pay the righteous, right? The wicked will pay the righteous. I'm not exactly sure like how the scripture goes, but when I think about it, we are using Babylon system to have riches, and that's 100%. Like, you know, it's been working out. If it has not been working out, we will know like we need to stop this. You know, that's wisdom. That's discernment right there. Where if you're doing something and it's not working out, that means that you gotta step back, analyze, and be like, huh, I thought this was gonna work, but the Most High is blocking it. You're gonna have to step back and analyze and see what's going on. But if you're doing something and it's increasing, increasing, and things are going well, that might be a sign for you to be like, okay, wow, this is something, you know. Um, but yeah, that's why I say use the system outside of America. So if you have good credit, you get what I'm saying. If you can do big loans, you get what I'm saying. If you can do like 20,000, 100,000, you know, 500,000 or something like that, you better do it outside of America. Put that money into assets outside of America. And that's how you're going to be sustainable long term. That's how you're going to, you know, um, beat the system in a way. And I don't like to talk like this because I don't know who's listening, but sometimes I'm just trying to plant some seeds, and I hope you guys can hear me and pick it up real quick and take it with a grain of salt. You know, eat the meat, spit out the bones. But yeah, that's the way to do it. Um, so if you have a portfolio, a good portfolio, if that's real estate, if that's stocks, if that's you know, experience, you know, business, you can borrow against that and use that money that you borrowed, put it outside of America. Just make sure you can do what you got to do to pay back and things like that. So that's the way to do it, guys. I'm giving you guys gems. I'm giving you guys some good information. But yes, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you are just now tuning in, make sure you like the video. Let me know where you are tuning in from. I always like to see where people are tuning in from. All praise to the Most High. But yeah, get out of America. Use the U.S. dollar outside of America. Cause it's working. That's 100%. Yeah. So what's happening? I believe somebody was talking about. Yeah, it's on purpose. Um, yeah, it's going digital. So yeah, so everything is going to go digital, and you know, I'll say the mark of the beast, you know, is going to be something similar to digital things, but I always tell people just make sure you have your foundation. You have to see the signs. You have to know what's going on. I know I had a conversation with a brother the other day, and we was talking about, you know, moving abroad, and like he would think that things was so bad on this side of the world, like where it's like people are not purchasing and stuff like that. People are poor, right? And I'm telling him like, no, like not like every time I go out and I sit like go to a mall or something, go to a grocery store, I see a lot of people out. The parking lot is packed. You know, people are buying, people are purchasing things, and sometimes